Bills fans, I'm not even going to attempt to lie to you. I'm not going to tell you a white lie. I'm not going to tell you a partial lie. The truth is, this is likely the worst season y'all will have in the last 5 years.
Shut up, the Bills! It's not
Yeah, we the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, we the Buffalo Bills. You better know that. Look how we throwing and catching, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. You better know that. Look how we running and hitting, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. Reppin' the mafia, yeah. Reppin' the mafia Bills, yeah. You better know that. Look how we throwing and catching, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. You better know that. Look how we running and hitting, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. Homie, now listen, everyone play their position. Buffalo got a tradition. They say we trippin', they better get out our way. Top of the table, we flippin', we on a mission. Got an unstoppable team, continue to follow your dream by any means. Buffalo, get in the Super Bowl ring. Cause we the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, we the Buffalo Bills. You better know that. Look how we throwing and catching, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. You better know that. Look how we running and hitting, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. Reppin' the mafia, yeah. Reppin' the mafia Bills, yeah. You better know that. Look how we throwing and catching, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. You better know that. Look how we running and hitting, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. Mafia up in your city, time to get gritty. Screaming and yelling, we bugging. Look at the red and blue.
This is an MVP year for Josh Allen. As an MVP voter, I said this last week. Josh Allen, he looks like an MVP. When you vote for MVP, and I can speak for myself, I think I'm one of 50 voters, you look at a couple things. Who's the best team in football? Who's the best player on that team in football? What do they look like as the best player on that team in football? And how much talent is around that best player on that best team in football?
Cause we done Buffalo Bills. Yeah, we done Buffalo.
Welcome back to another episode of Coast to Coast. This is Whittle 2K. I'm rolling solo today. Beyond has got a work thing he can't get out of, so he will not be joining us today. But today we're going to talk a little bit about some of the offseason moves that have happened. We're going to talk about the draft, and we're going to talk about some news and some things that have been happening around the NFL. But first and foremost, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to thank everybody who's watching via Twitter or via Facebook, YouTube, whatever, wherever you're watching from, and we appreciate it. Share the pod with somebody you love or with somebody who, if you think it's great. And yeah, man, we appreciate you taking this ride with us. Shout out to Do Champions, the whole team there. We appreciate everybody over there for supporting us thus far. Ladies and gentlemen, no, today I decided to not don the Buffalo Bills gear. It is NBA playoff season, folks. And yeah, I'm a Celtics fan, so this is what we got going on right now, and you just kind of got to deal with it. If you're not a Celtics fan, oh well. If you're a Knicks fan, we're enemies until this series is over. I think it would be nice. The NBA playoffs have been great so far. I know this is a football show, but so far so good. Very exciting. All the road teams, all the underdogs have won the first game. Well, I'm not gonna say all underdogs, but all the road teams have won the first game. This is the first time in history that's happened in the semifinals. And right now, the Celtics are holding on to a 12-point lead, I believe. Still not shooting well, but they're getting good effort from the other guys not named Jason or Jalen. They're getting a great effort from those guys. So around 6.5 minutes to go. Celtics up 12. They really got to lock in defensively and pull this thing out, man. But all right, let's get into it. So the draft is over. The free agency is over. Rookies are getting ready to report, And what do we have so far? Well, we have a set of rookies, we have some free agent signings, and we have guys. Oh God, a terrible shot. Um, we have some guys that are looking forward to trying to earn a spot on this team. So first and foremost, we'll get into the free agent additions. As you know, the guys will be added through free agency: Michael Hoyt, Joey Bosa, um, Larry Ogunjobi, um, Joshua Palmer. He likes to go by Joshua, not Josh. So we're going to call him that. And most recently, Elijah Moore. I mean, there were some other additions, but we brought back Dane Jackson. Um, we brought back Dane Jackson. We also brought back um, good shot. Let's go get that. Oh, sorry, sorry. All right. So we brought back Dane Jackson. We also brought back Trey White. We signed Derek Foster. We brought back DeMar Hamlin. Some of the veterans from last year that we know and love are gone now. Russell Douglas is gone. Amari Cooper's gone. Matt Collins is gone. Quentin Morris, it looks like, will be gone for good as well. And let me see what we got in the comments. Knicks are winning, bro. Yeah, okay. I mean, holla at me in a few when that was a terrible shot by Brunson, by the way. And the Celtics are up 9 and at the free throw line with 5 to go. So whatever, Dale. But I appreciate you for tuning in. Yeah, so listen, the Celtics had some needs from last year, mainly defensively, and they went out in the draft, as we all know at this point. They went out and addressed it. Uh, Brandon Bean went on, recapping all of this stuff. You guys already know it, but Brandon Bean got at the guys at WGR. He said what he said, and now here we are, the latest free agency move. Elijah Moore is now a Buffalo Bill. We're very, very happy about that. Jeez, Brunson just hit a 3. 7-point lead, folks. 7-point lead. And as we get closer to rookie camp, you got 275. So appreciate that, man. So as we get closer to rookie camp, what are the things that we wanted to see this year improve from last year? And we're not just talking about roster improvements. We're talking about just in general. What do we want to see? We wanted to see, number one, we wanted to see Keon come back and be strong and be a little stronger. So far, from what we're hearing, Keon definitely put on some weight. And still, Keon put on some weight. I don't know if I can do this while this game is on. This is a very tight game. This is very important to me. But yeah, so Keon put on some weight. We're happy about that. Ray Davis looks like he's in great shape. Unfortunately, though, there was a picture of Kincaid that came out, and Don Kincaid looks a little slight, looks a little slender, and we're not happy about that. Wow, it's a 5-point game with 3 minutes 15 to go. This is coming down to the wire again, folks. So what do we want? What do we expect um, from this Buffalo Bills offense? Well, we expect them to be as multiple as they were last year, just a little bit more explosive. They've got some pieces now. I think they've addressed some issues. We wanted somebody who could win against press man coverage. I feel like we got that in Joshua Palmer. That's his thing. That's what he does. Um, and we wanted to obviously get bigger, obviously get stronger. We wanted to get longer. We wanted to get younger on the defensive line. There was a push to do that this offseason. We traded out Von Miller, let Von Miller walk, and brought in Joey Bosa. Joey Bosa is not a young man, but he's definitely younger than Von Miller. we let some of the other guys that were a little older on the defense at defensive tackle walk out of here. Jordan Phillips, who I'm hoping will come back. Uh, he's not here anymore, and we brought in Larry Ogunjobi, who's like 30, I think. So they're pretty close in age, but Ogunjobi's been highly productive. He's been a highly productive player. He's been a consistent player for the last few years. He played with the Steelers, and we expect him to be a lot better in this system, which will allow him to play a little more three tech than he was in with the Steelers. But um, the rookies. We got Maxwell Harrison, cornerback, Dorian Strong, cornerback, Jordan Hancock, who's gonna probably play safety. And on those are the defensive secondary guys we added. On the defensive line, we added TJ Sanders, we added Deion Walker, and we also added Landon Jackson. Offensively, rookie Caden Prather, wide receiver out of Maryland, and um, offensive lineman. I believe he was a tackle, but he's probably going to play guard in the NFL. Is Chase Lunt from uh, UConn? From not yeah, I believe it's UConn. Now UConn is a school that we dealt with before. Ryan Van der Mark from UConn. He was somebody we targeted in the draft. Weren't able to get him, but we were able to. We made it happen. I'll give Bean this. Bean never forgets about a prospect. He never forgets about a prospect. So he goes after those prospects.
Choice.
All right. Okay. All right. All right.
Are you curious about scorching temperatures, its dense and toxic atmosphere, or perhaps its intrigue?
New phone, guys. Sorry. I don't know what's going on now with that, but whatever. So I'm gonna attempt to go through each prospect, give you my pros and cons, and then we'll talk about Elijah Moore a little bit, and then we'll talk about the news that is really hitting that hit the hit the NFL today. So first and foremost, pick number one, Maxwell Harrison. He ran a 4.28 or 4.29, I believe. He's 5'11", about 180, 183, somewhere around there. It's not his playing weight. His playing weight's closer to 190, somewhere between 185 and 190, which is where we want to be. Now, the pros, obviously the recovery speed. He's a excellent athlete, really good vertical jump. He would be considered a ball hawk because that's what, he did at Kentucky. He went after the football. I think he had like 5 interceptions in 2023. An injury sidelined him in 2024 for a bit, but overall, plus athlete, really, really good zone corner. Plays very well when facing the quarterback. And on top of that, even in man situations, he has the recovery speed to, even if he gets beat on a play, he can close the gap, get home, and make a play on the football. What are the downsides? Well, he's like, just, at 5'11" and under 185 pounds right now, even if he plays a little bit bigger, he's still smaller than the receivers that he's going to go up against. Matchups that I'm looking at on that we're going to have to deal with, where those teams have bigger receivers. We're talking about the Cincinnati Bengals. We played them this year. You go up against the Cleveland Browns. You're going to go up against a guy like Cedric Tillman, who's a bigger receiver. Mhm. What happens if we play when we play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? There's an opportunity. There's a chance that Maxwell Harrison may end up on Mike Evans. That's a mismatch. And no way around that. Um, uh, so what are we looking for? So those are the cons I have. Oh, one more thing. Tackling, not the greatest. Oh God, it's about to be a 1 point game. Um, not the best tackler in the draft at the cornerback position, but willing to get in there and make things happen. That's something that I'm confident the Buffalo Bills can fix. I think that was a slam dunk play, a slam dunk draft pick. I personally liked Trey Amos a little bit more. I think he's a uh, more polished player at this point, but I get it. The upside, the athleticism, all of those things, I get it. So I understand why they picked who they picked. I give that one an A. It was the second corner to come off the board. They loved him. He's definitely one of those Bills type of players. He's definitely one of those Bills type of players. And you know what? I think that he's gonna fit right in. I can't wait to see him on the field. I can't wait to see him make plays because he is a playmaker. Oh my God. The Knicks are up one. It's 150, it's 158 to go. Um Pick number two is TJ Sanders, 6'4, 6'3, 6'4, like 300 pounds. Wow. Look like the Celtics might go down 0-2, guys. And I am not going to be happy about that. So TJ Sanders, defensive tackle out of South Carolina, 6'4", 300. Played some one tech, but he's more of a three technique. Very good at very good at being a disruptor. A little bit of Ed Oliver to his game. Um, really good size, arm length is fine, weight's fine. You know, I like his I hate to use this, but the motor. I like his motor. Downside, I mean, he's only played football for I think he picked up football like in high school. Jesus, we can't buy a basket right now. And they can't miss. They can't miss. It's a 21-2 run. Last 7 minutes and 30 and some change. Wowzers. What do I love? What don't I love about TJ Sanders? I don't know that he has a plethora of moves. I would like to see more of a pass rush bag from TJ Sanders. I mean, I'm sure that will develop. He's solid against the run, no questions there. But as a pass rusher, you would like to see him be a little bit better, a little more polished, and hopefully he'll get there. Their third pick, Landon Jackson. Well, no, what do I give that pick? They traded up for him, and right after they traded up for him, there was a run on defensive tackles. So I gotta give that pick a B plus. Not the player that I wanted, but ultimately, it's the player we got, and I think he fits exactly what the Celtics. He fits exactly what the Buffalo Bills need. They need somebody else to be able to be a playmaker, a disruptor when um, they lose. Okay. All right. We're back on the line with a chance to go up one. 24 seconds to go. Yo, I'm stressing. Yeah, I know, right? Yo, log off, bro. I can't, man. I'm already logged in, man. So, this game is almost done. I'm praying my boys pull it out because down 0-2 is gonna be nuts. But yeah. So TJ Sanders definitely fills a need. Ogunjobi's on a 1 year deal. Um, so who knows what happens after that. And then so is Daquan Jones. So we're gonna need that backup. Dwayne Carter was drafted in the third round last year. We like Dwayne Carter. what most of us do. Some of us don't, but I think most Bills fans are okay with Dwayne Carter. Would like to see him play a little more. Um, he was all right. Like I thought he had a really good game against Houston, and then after he got hurt, and then after he came back from the injury, he just never really built. He never really began to build off of that performance from Houston. So Dwayne Carter's a guy. Yeah, I know we're choking. I know, bro. I know. Don't remind me, man. Um, oh boy. So I like the TJ Sanders pick. Like I said, I give that a B plus. The really good job of a really good job of working the board by the Buffalo Bills and being in front of and ahead of that in front of that run on defensive tackle. So then we go to Landon Jackson. Landon Jackson, third round pick, defensive end, Arkansas. Love him. 6'6", look way more bendy than AJ Epinesa. Really long arms, 40-something inch vertical, 270 pounds. I think he'll play a little heavier. A lot of these guys are slimmed down for. Oh, okay. That was beautiful. Now let's play defense, guys. Um, Play some defense and get a stop. Get a stop, please. Or have Mitchell Robinson if he gets on the field, on the court. All right, anyway. Uh, what do we love about that pick? Everything. Landon Jackson. I don't know if you guys have watched the embedded video that's out on YouTube right now, but it's amazing. They talk about they show you Maxwell Harrison, the whole draft process. I mean, they really give you the back, a little bit of the backstory from the first three picks, first three selections, and they don't give you too much, but I think they give you just enough for you to really kind of fall in love with these guys. Um, TJ Sanders really doesn't look all that enthused about being with the Bills. I don't know. He just doesn't look like. I don't know. Maybe it just hasn't hit him yet, or maybe this is who he is. But I will say this: when you're talking to him on that embedded, no, not embedded. I can't remember this lady's name, but she does like a lot of these little interviews with the players or whatever. So she was interviewing TJ Sanders, and we'll get to Landon Jackson, I promise. But they asked TJ Sanders, yo, so she asked him, she says, TJ, what's in before a game, what's in your radio? Like what are you listening to? What's in your earphone? And he was like, a lot of NBA Youngboy. When he said that, I was like, oh, we gotta go, right? And we've been talking about this as Bills fans. We want some guys that are dogs. Good foul. Put Brunson on the line. All right, we got a chance to win it. Hit two free throws. If he makes both free throws, we got a chance to win it. They tried to foul him before. You should have called it on the floor, bro. Well, they ain't cheating us, man. That was on the floor. But anyway, so yeah, you talking about NBA young boy and a bunch of other you know, rappers that I'm like, all right, that's you telling me what type of you telling me what gets you going, and I appreciate that because that's what I want. I want my defensive linemen violent, man. I want them violent. I want them angry. I want them, playing with a chip on their shoulders. I want them playing with an edge. So yeah, he was listening to some edgy stuff. I appreciate that. Back to Landon Jackson. Landon Jackson, married man, got a kid already. Like Buffalo. Players talk about how great the family atmosphere is for for these players. So all right, Jason Tatum. This is it, guys. Oh my God. Celtics are down 0-2 in a 7-game series. All right. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you're right, Dale. Knicks are the better team right now, man. This is not looking good for us for our chance to repeat. But anyway, Landon Jackson. I gave you the measurables, all of the athletic stuff. Um, had a really good game against Georgia, I think it was, where basically he wrecked the game by himself. Uh, I think he is what AJ Epinesa is with a chance to. He's AJ Epinesa with a bigger athletic upside. I am hoping that with some coaching and some refinement from these defensive line coaches, we get the most out of Landon Jackson. We did bring in Ryan Nielsen to be a defensive line coach, and that's his specialty. Defensive line. All right, you got some defensive linemen. It's time to step up, step in, and get it done. Get the most out of these guys. Uh, Fourth, what do I give that grade? Oh, what's the downside of Landon Jackson? Downside of Landon Jackson, I don't know. Like, I mean, I guess you could say like consistency. I would say he's not. He hasn't been a consistent performer. Um, the defensive lineman, there is some issues with. There is some issues with sometimes with like his play strength. Sometimes he can get blown off the football. Sometimes he can get blown off the ball, but he does have a lot of alignment versatility, which the Bills love. So ultimately, I don't really have a ton of negatives. I mean, I just think that he's a really really plus level athlete, and where they got him in the third round when people were talking about potentially Landon Jackson being a first round pick, um, yeah, give the Bills an A for that pick. Deion Walker, pick number 4, the fourth pick. We picked him up in the fourth round, traded up to go get him. 6'6", 6'7", 335 pounds, somewhere around there. Not the greatest athlete, but very, very quick on his feet. Um, he's another like penetrating lineman. Not necessarily your traditional two gapper or your one technique. I mean, he's built like it, but he doesn't have that play style. So that's something they can work on and just get him to plug. They can just teach him how to like kind of just be a plugger because you can't teach that size. So um his 2024 tape not as good as his 2023 tape. What are the negatives? Now the positives, size, you can't teach it. He is nimble on his feet. The kid's got a spin move. He's got a rip through with his he's got a rip through. Um he does move he moves way faster than he actually looks. But what is it? What's the downside? Downside is, I mean, he's kind of built top heavy, skinny legs. Definitely not like your traditional one technique that's a two gap plug guy that just kind of sits there and anchors. No, he's looking to bust plays up. He's looking to avoid the double team and beat the double team and get in the backfield and make plays. I love that about him, but that's a negative when you're being drafted to be the Daquan Jones replacement. So what else? Well, 2024 he wasn't great. In 2024, his film was kind of bad. He looked like he played way too high. Um, inconsistent performances. He was still effective, but not as effective as he was in 2023. 2023, like coming into this year, I remember watching him in 2023 and thinking to myself, like, "Yo, this guy is like huge. Like, I think he's definitely one of those ones. Like, but you know." I when I first saw him, I said, you know what, this guy could be the next Chris Jones, and he could, or he could be the next Raekwon Davis. Like it's all up to him. Um, 2024, he did suffer. He did have like a back injury, but hopefully the medicals are fine. The Bills said that they're not going to rush him. They're going to slow him up and take their time with him. I think this is a long term situation. I think he will play some his rookie year, but I think he will play his rookie year, but I don't think you will get the I don't think you'll start to see what Deion Walker can actually be until next year. Uh, like his sophomore, his second year, maybe going into his third year, you expect a big breakout. But yeah, that was one of the picks I called. I wanted him on his team since, the start of the season. It is what it is. Like really, really good. Um, Pickup for the Bills. I liked it. You traded up for it, so I'm gonna give it a B. Definitely not a B minus. Definitely not a B plus. I'll give it a B because it does fill a need, but then again, it doesn't. And you traded up for a guy that doesn't necessarily fit the need that you drafted him for. So, it could be better. I would give it an incomplete, but we're not doing that. Dorian Strong, I believe, or Jordan. I think Jordan Hancock was the next selection. I'm not gonna lie to you here and tell you I watched Jordan Hancock because I didn't. I didn't watch him. Um, did not think that he would be a fit for the Buffalo Bills because he transitions more to the slot than he does boundary. Um, or safety, which is where they're going to play him. So, I didn't really do a ton of work. I didn't really do much work on him at all. So I'm not going to grade him at all. I will grade, though. I will grade Dorian Strong. I did a ton of film watch of Dorian Strong. Love Dorian Strong. Thought that Dorian Strong was going to be gone by the third round, maybe early fourth. He would be off the board. So the Bills getting him in the sixth round, I think that's a steal. Um, Good in zone, good in man coverage. Not the greatest athlete, but uh, regardless of the athleticism, he's a football player. He reminds me a ton of Christian Benford. Um, I don't know if he's the caliber of player that the Christian Benford is, but I think that there's a lot of untapped potential with Dorian Strong. These are just my opinions. Now, from a film perspective, watching him play, pretty sticky in man coverage. Aggressive tackler, does not mind being physical with receivers. Definitely good with his back. Definitely good facing the quarterback. I thought he triggered a little slower. I wasn't in love with his trigger when the ball got in the air. I thought he was a step too late when it comes to that. But ultimately, um, ultimately still a solid boundary corner, a guy that I think you could bring in, and I think he could start. Uh, for an NFL team that needs a cornerback too. Um, so I love that pick. I love the value for it. So yeah, give me a. I'm going to give the Bills a B plus on that. Not the greatest athlete again. I think there are some limitations there athletically, but from a fit and um, production standpoint, from a film perspective, he is a Buffalo Bill through and through. Definitely, Coach McDermott and Coach Adai, they're going to love him in the secondary. They are going to absolutely love him. He is a dog. All right, and Chase Lunt, didn't watch him either. I'm still out on that. I don't know about that pick. I would have liked that pick to have been um, the linebacker Sean Dolak, but I have to do some more looking into Chase Lunt. And last but not least, Caden Prather. Um, Very limited, watching him. Somebody told me that he couldn't catch, and then so I kind of wrote him off. That's on me, guys. I should have did more better. I should have did more research on him, and I will get into the film study because I don't think I'll be watching much basketball Look like the Celtics on their way out of here. But Cam Prather, 6'5", big tall kid, 200 pounds, extra, traditional X receiver, ran like a 4.5. Um, I was told he only had one drop last year, and I'll take that. Don't know if he's a special teams guy. I haven't seen or heard of him playing special teams. Um, Honestly, don't think he's going to make the roster. I really don't think he's going to make the roster. He has an outside chance because of his size, but he's really going to have to do some things that are special in order to make this roster. Moving on. So those are our rookies. Let's talk a little bit about the addition of uh Nordica. I don't think they're frauds. I just think I don't. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm getting ready to get cooked when I get off of here. Yeah, I'm gonna show up to some spaces and get cooked because the Celtics lost. They're down 0-2. This is disgusting. Joe Mazzulla needs to go into that locker room and pull a Bobby Knight, like for real. Just like start knocking stuff over, yelling at people, cursing out. Because this is pretty bad to lose 2 games where you had double digit leads going into the fourth quarter. Absolutely terrible. Uh, so here we are. Um, all right, so Elijah Moore. Love this move. Wanted Elijah Moore when the Jets were trying to offload him. Wanted the Bills to stick their name in the hat to try to pick him up. Unfortunately, nobody's doing that trade. Like the Jets would never send Elijah Moore to come to the Bills to play with Josh Allen. But he goes to Cleveland for 2 more years and goes to Cleveland for 2 years. Uh, has mid production, and now he gets a chance to go play with Buffalo and be a wide receiver with Josh Allen. What do we love about Elijah Moore? It's like 5'10", 180 pounds, 185 pounds, whatever, but the kid can run. 4.3 speed. I think he's a plus level route runner. I think he's got above average hands. I don't think his hands are amazing or immaculate. But again, it's hard to judge because he hasn't really played with good quarterbacks. So we look forward to seeing Elijah Moore. And we got him for like $5 million. So cool. I mean, that's not 1 year, $5 million. If he signs long term, awesome. If he doesn't, cool. We'll move on. We'll get a comp pick for him, and then that'll be that. In other news, there was a major trade announced today, and this involves the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys traded a third-round pick and a fifth-round pick. Yes, a fifth-round pick for the services of George Pickens for 1 year. Not 2, not 3, but 1 year. I mean, of course they can pay him and extend him. I don't know how when they need to extend Parsons and, I don't know I don't know where they're gonna find this money from, but that's a guy that they traded for. They sent Pickens. They got Pickens and they got like a 6th-round pick back. So now, I don't know what the Steelers are gonna do. I think the Steelers might be cooked, even though I expect Aaron Rodgers to sign any day now. Hopefully they'll lean into more running the football. They did pay DK all of that money. And maybe they get, something out of Roman Wilson. Maybe they get something out of Calvin Austin. They got other guys, and we'll see. But that receiving room took a major hit today. And the Dallas Cowboys, man, they look like they're gonna make a push, man. I mean, that's kind of nice. You got Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, Jalen Tolbert, Jonathan Mingo, Cavante Turpin. I mean, oh, how you doing, Thomas? Man, appreciate you popping in. We're just about to get into that. So, as many of us know, Bills fans, um, we love our old players, and more than us. And who loves our old players more than the fans do? It's the organization. It's Brandon Bean and those guys. They love him. So today it was announced that the Jacksonville Jaguars released Gabriel Davis, wide receiver, University of Central Florida, former Buffalo Bill, uh, chief killer. Well, I mean, can you call him a chief killer if we lost the game? No, but he's a chief wounder. Let's say that he wounds the Chiefs. The Chiefs don't like Gabe Davis in the Buffalo Bills uniform because he plays well against them. So um, he's released by the Jacksonville Jaguars today, and immediately Buffalo Bills fans all over the place are like, "Bring Gabe Davis back," and then the other people are like, "No, don't bring Gabe Davis back. He wasn't that good for us." And both sides are true. Gabe Davis was not great here. He was good. He was good. He wasn't great though. Career wise, like a 52% catch guy, 53% catch guy. Never hit 1,000 yards. He was close a couple times. Um, and had a fair amount of touchdowns. I personally believe a lot of that had to do with the opportunity as the number two receiver for this team, and working with Josh Allen, being on the team, being on the same team with Stephon Diggs and Cole Beasley for a couple of years, Emmanuel Sanders, all these different guys that kind of allow Gabe to just be right. But in big games, Gabe kind of showed up. Like there were some big moments where Gabe really came through for us, and then there's some moments where Gabe didn't come through. Um, so Gabe got the bag, and now uh, he's paid. His family's good. He's good for now. Um, I'm all for bringing him back. And I went full circle because I was one of the people that said, nope, don't bring Gabe back. I'm good. No, thank you. But then I thought about it and I said, you know what? We did lose Mac Hollins, who offered us two things: size and physicality. Um, and we never replaced it, right? Keon was here last year, so he's going to bring, an added level to that with his increase in weight. So bringing in a guy like Gabe definitely adds to that. Gabe was an excellent run blocker. Um, Gabe was not only was he an excellent run blocker, but he definitely is not a scheme giveaway, right? You see Gabe Davis come on the field, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if the Bills are throwing it. You don't know if you don't know if the Bills are throwing it. You don't know if they're running the football. Either way, Gabe Davis was integral in the run game for us. They would use him to pin down with defensive ends. They would use him to take linebackers out. All of that in the run game. Gabe was great at. So on the strength of bringing him back to because of his run blocking, it makes sense. And obviously, as a downfield threat, like Gabe, for whatever reason, just I don't know, he just wins downfield, man. You got to give him credit for that. He's got some really big performances for the Buffalo Bills, especially with catching the ball downfield. I know LeSean is never going to let anybody live this down. He's got a 16.9 average depth of target with the Buffalo Bills. So it's automatic first down, even if you lose 5 yards, still a first down for that distance. Uh, and then there's chemistry there between him and Josh. I have personally not liked Josh's deep ball over the last two seasons. Maybe bringing a guy like Gabe back will help that out. Um, and then the fit, like bring him back. You can kind of throw him in the slot as Thomas, new subscriber, man. We appreciate you for subscribing, man. We do this every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Normally, it's not just me; it's my co-host Beyond 716, but he's unable to be here right now for work work thing that he couldn't get out of. So yes, maybe he can compete for fourth wide receiver slot. Yes, and even bigger than that, like can he play in the slot? Yes, he was pretty good in the slot against the Chiefs. Against the Chiefs, in that slot, he torched them right down the middle of the field multiple times. And I think when you have weapons on the outside that can stretch a defense down the boundary, down the sideline, like an Elijah Moore, like a Joshua Palmer, even Dawson Knox is a deep threat. Um, you want a guy who can attack the defense right down the middle of the field. Now that's supposed to be Kincaid, but play strength and athleticism kind of hold him back. Um, Gabe Davis is not held back. That's an area where he can be very, very dangerous. I believe you put a guy like Gabe in the slot with guys like Samuel or Palmer or Moore on the outside. And, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I'm looking at that saying to myself, I really got to pick my poison. Do I trust my boundary guys? Or I don't understand what you mean here. Gabe's run blocking as a wide receiver four is kind of redundant. I think if Gabe comes on the is he dealing with an injury? If they're available, I can't. Ooh. But that might be something to, you know what? That might be one of those, we'll see you in a few weeks type deals. See, Sill's recovering from the meniscus. Okay. All right. Yeah. So let him heal up. And then, I'm sure Bean will give him a call. I'm sure that call has already happened. And they're just waiting on him to say go. And then, that'll be that. So, but yeah, I like the fit. Uh, I know Gabe's last memory, with this team is the blow up on the sideline with the fans, I guess. Um, Whatever. Like, if he's gonna come in and help us win, I'm all for it. Gabe was a good guy here. He's a great teammate. And okay, I see what you're saying. When wide receiver four is on the field, it's not typically a situation where they're running the ball. Well, so when I say wide receiver four, I don't mean four wide receivers. I mean just where his place is on the depth chart. Wide receiver four. That doesn't necessarily mean that when he gets on the field, they're going to be four wide receivers. They can line him up in 11 personnel. They can bring him out in, you know, 10, 22, whatever. Like, doesn't matter. He can, if they can, if it's 21 personnel, they can bring him out 12. It doesn't really matter. Like, Gabe Davis can play the boundary. We know that. Gabe Davis can play the slot. He can play in the slot and be effective. So, I'm just saying, when he's on the field, if it's a 12 personnel situation, you may think the Bills are running the ball because they have heavier personnel out there, but a guy like Gabe is a guy that can get behind your corner if you bring too many guys up. Yeah, that would be cut into their snaps, no bones about it, but nobody plays the offense doesn't play 100% of the snaps, so and injuries happen as well. So whether we like it or not, like it's gonna cut into somebody's snaps. Like guys are not gonna play 100% of the snaps. Keon's gonna come off the field, so is Palmer. So I would like to see when those guys come out that we have somebody that we trust out there. And I think we trust Gabe enough to have him as a reserve, a guy coming off the bench. So, but moving on from that, yeah, I like the fit. Um, he loves Buffalo. His family loves Buffalo. His mom, uh, I've interacted with her a bit on social media, and she was responsive and very spoke very glowingly about Buffalo and um the team and the fan base. Even though like some Bills fans really were jerks and really said some nasty things to her after Gabe left, or when Gabe had a bad game. I mean, some people are jerks and you just can't do anything about it. But I like the fit. Um, Hopefully it happens. And I'll say this: the Bills usually carry 5 wide receivers into the season. Um, I think if they bring Gabe in, there's going to be 6. I would say I would think that they would knock a linebacker off the roster. And if I'm Baylor Spector or Joe Andreessen or Adebayo Lafosio, for that matter, any one of those 3 guys, I'm really going to work hard to make sure that I'm not the one who ends up on a practice squad if the call goes in and Gabe comes back to the team. So um, I think somebody asked earlier, would Gabe play special teams? I'm sure he would. I don't see why he wouldn't. He I'm sure he understands that if he comes back to the Bills, he's not coming back here to start. He would have to take that job from somebody else. So hey, that's where we are. But that's pretty much all I got today. Before we get out of here, though, we're going to run through these exercises. 1 second, and we'll be back in a second as we show love to our sponsors.
For the best Italian food in Western New York, Elliot Apollo's, call 716-825-3675. The Lardon Construction Group.
Fubo TV, the official streaming service of Do Champions. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Do Champions.
For all your summertime needs, beauty pools, as well as kayak pools.
CX Chronicles, your total customer solutions focused manager. W.GG, the official energy drink of Do Champions.
Hey, Sons of Erie, our artwork looks better on your walls. Hamburg Brewing, please visit our tap room on Boston State Road, Hamburg, New York. And finally,
Fat Boy Surf Club for all your surfing needs.
All right, and we're back. So, folks, last few minutes, I'm going to see. Does anybody? Oh, don't put that in the atmosphere, man. We don't want that. And that's a KC move, man. Like KC would do something like that. I just don't want that to happen. But listen, I want to ask you guys, like, if you follow me on social media, let me know what you think. I want to open this up. I want to open this show up a little bit more to some of you guys. So we talk about some issues. We talk about the Buffalo Bills, obviously, and sometimes some of these topics that we discuss where the Buffalo Bills are concerned, um, they are these topics are points of contention where some of the fan base is on one side, some of the fan base is on the other side, some of the fan base is like in the middle somewhere. So let's talk about it. I want to open it. If you think this is a good idea, I would like to open up, a 10-minute space or a 5-minute space inside the pod where we bring somebody on and me and that guest, when we bring on one of you guys, well, me and that guest will discuss this topic and give our views on it. So, if you think that's a good idea or you want to be a part of it, let me know. Send me a message. Definitely put it in the comments. I try to get on and check the comments every now and then, but guys, I'm sorry. Like my job has been killing me. Um, I'm also studying for the CPA, trying to get that done finally. I pushed it off for like 10 years. So And then there's some other stuff that I got going on. So, that'll start in January next year. And yeah, we're gonna try to get we're gonna try to make this a lot better. Um, we're gonna always try to better ourselves. So in January, I will be starting the NFL scouting academy. It's nothing serious. Like it's like a 16-week course. It's online. You pay for it, so it's not like it's something that everybody in here is watching. You can do the same thing. You just got to pay the fee, and and that's that. So once I get done with that, um, I guess you guys can't call me a casual anymore. I guess but we do this pod because we love football. We love the Buffalo Bills, and hey man, we just want to bring you some. I don't want to say informed takes, but we put some work in, and we try to put work in, and then as we put the work in, we want to give you guys an educated perspective. So that's kind of what this is. And through us having an educated perspective on this pod, we want to, bring you guys along as well, so we have more better conversations and a better understanding of what we're watching every Sunday. Uh, and that's that. So, as always, I appreciate everybody tuning in. Um, and we'll be back here next week at 9 o'clock. And go Bills! Thanks, y'all. Thanks. Appreciate y'all. I'm out.